Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome back to Quick Shot Reviews. I am your host Luke and you are the Cheap Shot Nation. You are watching Quick Shot Reviews on YouTube or listening to the podcast. Talk is cheap. So, it's October the 16th. Of course they're going to release a Halloween movie, not on Halloween. And I've just been to see said Halloween movie, and it is Halloween Ends. And it's interesting, to say the least. I'm kind of on the fence with this one, and I'll explain why in the main part of the video. But in the meantime, please subscribe and like the video, and of course to the podcast as well. Leave us a comment. What did you think of this film? Because it seems it seems to be universally panned by fans and critics alike, and I think it's a big missed opportunity. But again, I will explain that in the main part of the video. So the director is still David Gordon Green, done a fantastic job on the first two movies in this particular trilogy, and is co-written by John Carpenter, Deborah Hill, Paul Brad Logan, Chris Berrier, Danny McBride and David Gordon Green. Again, that could probably explain why this is kind of disjointed. It's Halloween. Join me for the main part of the video. So, Halloween Ends, released in 2022 on October the 14th in the UK. It is an 18, and I'm still trying to figure out why, apart from a couple of scenes. And it's just under 2 hours long, and the official blurb is the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode comes to a spine-chilling climax in this final installment of the trilogy. Again, very much a lie. It doesn't really feel like a Michael Myers Halloween movie. It feels like someone's being lined up to take the mask and take the next steps in the franchise. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis. She's brilliant. She's badass as usual as Laurie. Andy Matichak, who is Allison, who is absolutely fantastic and gorgeous to boot as well. James Jude Courtney plays the Shape. We get introduced to Rohan Campbell, who plays Corey, who would play a major role in this film. Will Patton as Frank, of course, and we get a couple of others there. It does involve some bullies and things like that, which is kind of strange, but that's I suppose, well, no, they didn't have to put it in, but they did anyway. I think this is the weakest of this trilogy, and it should have been a fantastic climax. It kind of writes itself, really, this film, to the point where, even the description, the epic showdown of Laurie and Michael, but it wasn't. It was heavily revolved around Corey and his creeping evilness with regard to Michael Myers. And yeah, it just it didn't feel right. I'm very on the fence with it. I just, yeah, I've been a fan of Halloween for a very long time. I share that love of Halloween with lots of my mates, especially Mike, who I went to see the 2018 one with. And we both absolutely loved that one. I loved Halloween Kills as well. I thought that was absolutely brutal. And this one is a complete contrast. It tries to go back to its roots of the first one. There's some nods in there. If you're a fan of the franchise, you'll see lots of hidden things in this film, which is great. But it kind of jumps off the high diving board in 2018, does a triple twist, and then by the time it gets to the water, does a massive belly flop. And that is, I mean, this is the belly flop. It's, yeah, Michael cameos in his own film. Like I say, I did enjoy some of the kills. Didn't get very many. Still trying to figure out completely why this was an 18. I'm guessing it was because of the blood that got shown. Excuse me. Yeah. Really on the fence. Really on the fence. And, you know, I don't want to give spoilers because it's not what quick shot reviews are about, and I'm definitely not going to do that. But I can't say I fully enjoyed this film. Thought it was very slow in parts, again going back to its roots. But even the original Halloween film, yes, it did things a bit slower, but it was also a lot. It wasn't as long by a long shot. But there was always that creeping necessity of the shape. Almost like they didn't have a way to stick the landing. And it, like I say, it pretty much writes itself through lore. There was a major thing that I didn't like about this. I mean, this is supposed to bring the whole thing to a close, like it will. 10 years down the line, we'll get another Halloween movie. Like I say, I thought it was gearing up to have a new shape, with Michael getting on, passing the torch. And all I could think about was Friday the 13th. Like I say, even the main antagonist was called Corey. If you know about Friday the 13th, you know that reference. And maybe that was it. Maybe that was a reference. I have no idea. But, I mean, yeah, putting it on the nose. Yeah, I feel like it could have done things a lot differently. And it would have been a lot better. Pacing could have been a bit quicker with different things. I did kind of get some of it that people are complaining about with revolving Michael Myers, based on the finish of Halloween Kills. I mean, this guy or shape or entity or whatever you want to call him has gone through a lot in 40 years. A heck of a lot. And yeah, he's still kicking. But I do feel there was a missed opportunity at the end, and that could have been cut a little bit better. I'm no film school student. I don't know how to put a film together or edit, but for me, I have ideas on how to edit that ending, and I think it could have been really cool. And yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the franchise, go and watch it. This is the end, supposedly, of this timeline. So why not? Go and see it. Support the cinemas and go and buy your ticket. I have seen people commenting that they're streaming this on Peacock. Obviously, that's the USA. I don't think this is going to be a box office bomb by any means, but I do feel like it could have been 110% better. I know by definition you can only get 100%, but it could have been bloody fantastic, and ultimately I'm left disappointed by this one. But yeah, like I always say, don't take my word for it. This is my opinions, this is my blurb, this is my podcast, YouTube channel talking about movies, and you guys seem to like it. So I'm going to keep doing it, obviously. Just come back off holiday and I've booked into the cinema the following day to watch this film and review it. That being said, I was really excited about it, obviously, being a Halloween fan and a fan of Halloween in general, not just the film. And found myself, like I say, a little bit disappointed by this one. But you are the Cheap Shot Nation, so why don't you get in contact with us on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram and let us know what you thought of the film. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, why not go and see it? I wasn't enamoured with it, but you might have a completely different point of view. I thought this film could have been perhaps the next one in the franchise where things pass over and a new evil arises, and evil never truly dies, as is written. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I've been Luke, you've been the Cheap Shot Nation, and this has been Quick Shot Reviews. Happy film following. No, let's start that again, even though it's continued to record. Happy film times. Movie watching. Like I said, I've just come back off holiday. Happy movie watching. Happy Halloween. Hope you're getting in lots of horror films and enjoying it all. Goodbye.
Hiya.